welcome back to my channel. I know at this time I introduced you guys as Linda's. I've seen a lot of different bloggers use this word hey my love, so I thought it was like really common and I wanted to do something different. And I was just brainstorming the other day that what should I call you guys, and I realized that I use this word Linda a lot in my video, so I thought, why not? I'm just gonna call you guys Lindas. You guys are my Lindas and I absolutely love you guys. So from now on, I'm gonna be calling you Lindas, okay? So that's how I'm gonna be starting my intro and that's how I'm gonna be doing my outro as well. So yeah. Hey Lindas, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm gonna be showing you guys this makeup look that I have on my face, which is pretty waterproof and pretty budge proof. So it's perfect for monsoon season and it's also good for someone who wants their makeup to last the entire day. Also, I'm gonna be doing a quick story time in this video where I share my story on how I was literally stuck and stranded in the middle of road at like 12 p.m. and so in case if you guys want to know how to achieve this makeup look and want to hear the story where I was stuck in the middle of the road, then please continue watching. Okay, so first things first, I'm gonna be prepping my face. I've got nothing else on my face but just moisturizer and a little bit of sunscreen. Always wear your sunscreen even if you feel like it's not sunny outside. You need to wear your sunscreen. So I'm going to keep it very simple with my makeup as you saw in the intro. So yeah, let's get started. So first I'm going to be priming my face. Now on a day-to-day basis I don't really do this, but especially for monsoon when I know it's gonna rain, I do this extra step to make sure that my base makeup lasts longer in case if it were to rain and if my face gets wet for some or the other reason. And to prep my face, I'm going to be using this setting spray by Flower Beauty. This is their Seal the Deal long lasting setting spray. This is in their matte finish. They also have a hydrating one in this in case if you are someone who's got a dry skin type. I am oily, so I'm going to be using the matte variant of this, and this is a really nice setting spray and it works really well as a nice primer. So yeah, I'm going to be using this. So I'm going to shake it up first and I'm going to just spray it. It's got a very fine mist, like oof. I really like the mist on this one. So I'm gonna let that set in. It sets really fast. It sinks in your skin pretty fast. So that's something that I really like about this. Do I have cake on my teeth? I just had cake before filming this. I'm just checking if I have cake on my teeth. Oh, I don't. Okay, so moving on to my foundation, I'm gonna be using this guy, which is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation. So I'm gonna be using this foundation because it's a very long lasting foundation. It is also pretty budge proof and waterproof, so I'm gonna be using this one. I did a whole review and a wear test on this foundation on my channel, so I'm going to leave it somewhere on the screen and in my description box below for you guys to check it out. So during monsoon, I don't really like to wear a lot of base makeup because it rains a lot where I live. In Mumbai it rains a lot, so I don't really do a lot of base makeup, and even if I do, I like to keep it very light or like do a little bit of spot concealing here and there because I know in case if my face gets really wet, my foundation or my base makeup wouldn't look funky. So I'm using very little amount of this foundation, as you guys can see. So I'm only going to be applying it on the areas that I need a little bit more coverage. So I'm going to be using my beauty blender. I'm using my Eco Tool sponge. I'm going to take a little bit of it and I'm going to start applying it on the areas that I need more coverage. Okay, so while I'm doing my foundation, let's just talk for a while. I have a really fun story to tell you guys, but before I tell you guys the story, how are you guys doing? It's been a while that I've done a chit chat video and I miss doing it. Lately I've been super active on my Insta stories and I've been interacting with you guys a lot, and I actually really like doing that. Super fun to be interacting with you on very random topics, makeup related topics, makeup, skincare, all of that. So yeah, if you are watching this video, do follow me there because I am quite active there. So when I'm not posting here on YouTube, I am mostly on Instagram. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is whatever product is left on the sponge is what I'm gonna be applying it all over my face. There's barely any product in the sponge. I'm doing this step just so it doesn't look like I've got foundation only on one area of my face. So yeah, so I think that's about it for my foundation. I did a very light layer. As you guys can see, you can still see my acne scars peeking through. You can still see those imperfect spots on my face, and that's absolutely fine. That's your skin. You don't need to cover every single thing on your face. Embrace the scars that you have on your face, ladies. Embrace it. For concealer, I'm gonna be using my favorite concealer, one of my favorite concealer, if I may say. So this one, this is the Flower Beauty Light Illusion Full Coverage Concealer, and I have it in the shade Light Medium. This is a very nice long lasting concealer which I feel you can use under your eyes, or you can also use it all over your face. It has a brilliant coverage. So for concealer, I'm going to be applying it on my under eyes, maybe a little bit on the corners of my nose because I tend to get really red there. So I'm gonna apply a little bit there. So now I'm gonna start blending out the concealer using my same Eco Tools sponge. And before I set my base, I'm gonna be using one more cream product, and then we'll be setting our face. So the cream product that I'm gonna be using next is a cream blush. Now I don't really like using a cream blush, but in this case I'm using a cream blush as a base for my powder blush, so that way it's gonna ensure that my blush stays in place throughout the day. You can also use like a cheek stain if you have, but I don't really own any kind of stains or any cheek stains. I'm gonna be using a cream blush instead. So the blush that I'm using is this one. This is the Shambor Orosa Matte Blush Stick in the shade Coral. So I'm gonna be taking it on my sponge, and then I'm gonna be tapping off any excess that I have on my hand, and then I'm just gonna start blending this bad boy on my cheeks. The story that I'm gonna tell you guys happened not too long ago. It happened like recently, the first week of August, and oopsie, that's a lot of here blush. In Bombay, at least, like things are getting back to normal. Like it's not all the way open, but you can still go to work and stuff. So I had to go to work, I guess on the 5th, I guess was this 5th of August or 6th, I don't really remember the date, but yeah, I had to go to work. So it was raining continuously since the past 2-3 days, and the day when I had to go to work, it was raining that day as well. In the morning it was not as intense. Me being me, I don't really read news. I did not even read any weather forecast, and there was a warning saying that, you know, there is a cyclone on its way. It's gonna rain really heavy, it's gonna get pretty windy, so stay indoors, don't step out. Yeah, I just went to work thinking that, you know, it's just rain, it's nothing serious. Did not read the news or did not get any kind of news whatsoever. So I was like, ah, it's gonna be fine, it's just rain. It happens all the time during monsoon. It rains every single day. It's nothing serious. So I went to work, I book a cab, I go to work, doing my thing at my workplace, and then it started raining really heavily. And at that time my boyfriend called me and he said that, you know, that it's raining a lot, you need to talk to your senior and get home as soon as possible. It's been raining non-stop, and if it doesn't stop raining, you wouldn't be able to get any cabs or anything of those sorts. Plus there's no public transport. Buses are there, but then it's just another hassle altogether. But me being me, I was like, ugh, whatever, you're just being too dramatic, don't worry about it, it's all gonna be fine. And I didn't think much of it. Okay, so I'm gonna pause for a second there. I think I applied a little too much blush, but that's okay. Now I'm gonna set my base makeup in place just to ensure that this base is not moving anywhere. I'm going to be setting my concealer first because I obviously do not want my concealer to crease. I'm going to be using this banana powder by Australis. I need a little bit of brightness on my under eyes, so that's the reason why I'm using a banana powder, and I'm going to be applying it using my beauty blender. So I'm also going to be using this banana powder like on the center to just bring a little bit more light on my face on the corner of my nose. So now to set my face, I'm gonna be using this mattifying powder by Sephora. Their 8-hour mattifying pressed powder. You don't really have to because the foundation that I used earlier is a very long lasting foundation, but this is just that additional step to ensure that your makeup stays in place. Okay, so I'm going to be using the same beauty sponge and I'm going to be setting my face in place. Okay, so there you go, that's that for the powder. Oh shit, yeah, I completely forgot to mention I already did my eyebrows. See, I'm all over the place today. Clearly, I haven't done a chit chat video in a very long time. Okay, so for my eyebrows, I use an eyebrow pomade because eyebrow pomades are supposed to be very long lasting and waterproof. And obviously, we are talking about a monsoon proof makeup, so we obviously need to use something on our eyebrows that is gonna be long lasting and waterproof as well. Okay, so the base is donezo. I'm now gonna be adding a little bit of powder blush and then maybe a little bit of highlight. For my blush today, I'm gonna be using, it's dirty, I'm gonna be using this blush by Note Cosmetics Luminous Silk Compact Blusher in the shade Desert Rose. This is what it looks like. It's such a pretty brush. Get it together, girl. Get it together. It is such a beautiful blush. Okay, so I'm gonna continue with my story, but I just want to know, are you guys like working from home? You guys have to go to work? What is the tea, sisters? What is the tea? So I'm just blending out the blush with a big fluffy brush. It has no product in it because I feel like I went a little overboard with my blush. Oh my god, I completely forgot about this guy. I wanted to use this highlighter because this is a very budge proof highlighter. How did I even forget about this? Very professional YouTuber, you see. We're gonna be a little daring today. Okay, I'm gonna be using this highlighter on top of the powder and I hope that it works out well. In case if it doesn't, it's okay. I'm gonna do my base all over again. So for my highlighter, I'm gonna be using this highlighter by Sugar. This is their jelly highlighter in gold and this is what it looks like. I'm gonna be using my fingers to blend this out. So I'm gonna be using like itna, so like very little. Okay, so now for the eyes, I'm not gonna be using any eyeshadow. I'm gonna be keeping it very simple. So for my eyes today, I'm gonna be first using this pencil by K Beauty. So what I'm gonna be doing with this kajal is I'm gonna be first lining my eyes with this. I'm gonna be extending it outward so that it creates sort of a wing. I mean, you don't really have to be very precise with it. It's absolutely fine. It is okay. Nobody's professional here. So once you have something like this on your eyes, you need to take a blending brush and start blending out this liner. Took longer than usual, but yeah, this is what my eyeliner looks like right now. As you guys can see, I've extended it out a little bit, like a very teeny tiny wing. I'm gonna be doing the same on the other eye as well. Man, it's really difficult to do your makeup and also narrate a story at the same time. Wow.
2 hours later.
So I'm done with my eyeliner here. I'm not gonna do anything extra to mess it all up. Also, I'm not gonna be using any eyeshadow or any liner on my lower lash line or my waterline because they end up, you know, getting smudged at the end of the day. Now to take this eye look a little bit up a notch because I know it looks very boring as of now, I'm gonna be using this glitter eyeshadow, like liquid eyeshadow by Nikake. This is in the shade Polaris Peach. This is what it looks like. So I'm gonna be applying this bad boy all over my eyelid just to give my eyes a little bit extra dimension. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be placing it like so, and I'm gonna be using my fingers to blend it all out. Like, can you see how instantly elevates the eye look? This is boring. This is bam, it's not. So let's continue with the story because I feel like I've paused enough. So yeah, as I was saying, it started raining really heavily in the afternoon. The rain got pretty intense and it didn't look like it's gonna stop anytime soon. So my boyfriend, being the most paranoid person on the planet, he was a little worried for me. He was a little scared as to how we'll be going home and stuff, and I'll be able to go home safely or not. So that happened and I was constantly brushing him off, saying that, you know, you're just thinking about it too much. Chill, bro, you need to chill. Little did I know, the thing that he's been worrying about the most is exactly what's gonna happen to me in the evening. So that day I left work at around 7 p.m. I wasn't able to book any cabs and the cab fare was also pretty high. So I was like, yeah, maybe, you know, It's been raining, that's the reason why the cab's fare are high. I'm sure it's gonna go down. Yeah, I'll be able to book my cab. I kept on trying, no cabs were available. I wasn't able to book any cab, and 15 minutes later I was still at my office trying to book a cab. My office area is in the back lane of the street, so I decided to go to the main street, and I thought, maybe I'll be able to catch a kali pili from there. So I leave my office. Mind you, it's been raining heavily. It's been raining a lot, plus it was also really windy, so it was really difficult. Like, it was a struggle to get to the main road itself. And while I was walking towards the main street, pretty much all the shops that were in the lane where my office is, it was all shut. It looked like as if there was a zombie invasion and everybody is like gone from the face of the earth. That is the exact feeling that I was getting when I was walking that lane. It was really windy, so my umbrella kept getting ulta. So somehow I made it to the main street, and I was like, okay, now I'll be able to catch a kali pili and I'll be able to go home. I was like a little bit relieved. I was looking for a kali pili to go by. Meanwhile, I was also trying to book a cab on my cell phone. And can you guys guess? Obviously, I wasn't able to book any cabs whatsoever. There were no kali pili to be found. The ones that I saw approaching, they were already preoccupied, or the cab's driver, literally they were not stopping. And then another 15 to 20 minutes goes by. That's when it started to hit me that, okay, this is something serious. So I thought that, let me just walk a little, maybe I'll be able to find a cab. Then on the next lane, I started walking towards the next main street. Mind you, it was raining really heavily. I was already all soaked and drenched. On my way to that particular main street, there were fallen trees everywhere on that road, and it pretty much blocked the road. So that's when I started to get even more paranoid. I was like, oh my god, like, this is intense. This is not some regular Mumbai monsoon rain shiz. This is something serious. Like, while I was walking, I had to cross this huge tree that had fallen on the middle of the road. I was just hoping and praying that another tree doesn't fall off on me. Like, I know my brain works like that, so I was just hoping that it doesn't fall on me. I somehow was able to go across that tree, and then right in front of me I was able to see a cab. So there were two guys in there, and I completely forgot to mention that my colleague was there with me at that time as well. So we thought that, we might take lift from them. So we like, are you guys heading towards so and so area? Like, can you guys give us a lift? We are trying to book a cab. We are not really able to book a cab. So those guys were kind enough to let us in, and luckily they were heading in the same direction as we. So it was like, yay. So we sat inside the car. So for us to reach the main destination, we had to take a highway. So the road was pretty straight. So the place from where I boarded the cab, they just had to go like seeda, and then it would hit the highway. 2 minutes in the cab, we saw that, there's a huge traffic. So the guy who was basically driving the car was pretty familiar to the roads and stuff. So he said that, I know of a different route, will help us connect directly to the highway that we want to go. So we were like, okay, fine, let's go. So he turns the cab around, and while we were taking that shortcut lane, the entire street was filled with water. So literally half of the car was covered with water. I mean, I'm sure you guys can picture now how badly the roads were flooded. So we somehow made it to that shortcut wala lane. There was so much traffic in that lane as well. Pretty much everybody wanted to go home at that point. By the time we boarded the cab, it was already around like 8:15ish, and when we reached that shortcut wala lane, that wasn't flooded. So we all were pretty relieved. We'll have to wait for a little bit, but maybe we'll be able to make it through. What happens next is it takes us 2 hours cross that entire shortcut wala lane and to reach to that highway. But when I tell you, when we were about to reach that highway, the roads were flooding up, and when we were moving forward, the water kept on increasing. It was pretty scary at that point, but we still kept on moving, and somehow we made it to that seedha lane of that highway. So we were standing there. There were cars behind us, there was cars right in front of us. I'm not even kidding you guys, the car was literally half in water and we were inside the car. And right in front of us, 200 to 300 meters away, we were able to see that highway. They were not really allowing anybody to go on that highway. the reason why we were stuck there. We wait for another 2 hours and the cab hasn't moved a single inch, and the cab's battery was constantly getting low and we were freaking out, like, what do we do now? It's been almost like around 10:30ish, and I guess at that point the guy who was driving, he realized like we're not going to be able to move any forward from here, so he decided to call his friend and ask if he could come over. So obviously his friend said yes, so they informed us that they'll be taking a U-turn now. They are heading to their friend's place and they were like, where do you guys want us to drop you? So we can just drop you there and we'll be heading to our friend's place because we don't see a point standing here. The car's battery is going really down, and in case if the car stops in the middle of the road, then we are screwed. And all this while that we were waiting, it was raining continuously, so the water that was earlier यहाँ पे, by the time we took a U-turn and we were waiting to proceed further, it was still here. So he dropped us off at one of the streets. I didn't really wanted to bother them anymore because they already did a huge favor by giving us a lift. So I obviously didn't want to bother them by asking them to take a different turn when they had to go like this way. Got off the car, we said thank you, all of that, and now the place where he dropped us at, we literally had to walk for good 3 kilometers for us to reach our office. And by that time it was raining, it was super windy, it was really cold, we were wet, so we were feeling really cold. So we were walking on the street, there's literally nobody on the road. Like anytime we were crossing a lane that had tree on the sides, we used to be super careful. We were looking literally up and just hoping that the tree doesn't fall off. So somehow we made it to where my office is, because there's a lot of hotels around the area where my office is. So we call up every hotel. All the hotel rooms are booked. Some were not operational because of corona, some were not responding, so that happened. So by that time it was around, I guess, 12:30ish. So I thought that what, let's just go to our office and let's just stay the night there. We were literally standing in the middle of the road at like 12:45 a.m. It was really not safe. We decided to stay in the office. Luckily we had the key, so we made it to our office and then we waited there the entire night. And we tried to order food because we were like really hungry. Can you imagine, we left our office at 7. After like almost 6 hours we came back to our office, but all the restaurants were shut. Obviously all the things had to go wrong on the same day itself, so we were unable to order any food. There was nothing to eat. We were starving, we were wet, we were feeling cold. The only thing that we had in the office was hot water, and that's about it. 7:30ish a.m. we were finally able to go book a cab and we were finally able to get home safely. It was a very scary experience, to say none the least. I mean, it was a hell of an experience, but luckily I wasn't alone. I would have shit my pants if I was alone stuck in that situation. Like seriously, I don't know. Luckily I had a colleague of mine that I was able to share this experience with, and I wasn't just the only one. And yeah, that's what happened. So yeah, a lesson learned. So next time during monsoon, every time I step out of the house, I'm gonna see the weather update and then only I'm gonna step out. Yeah, that's that for my story. Ooh, that was pretty long. I guess I need to continue to the makeup. Also, I'm pretty much done with my eyes. Now what I'm gonna be doing is highlighting my inner corner and my brow bone, and to do that I'm gonna be using the same jelly highlighter that I used on my face because it's quite waterproof and budge proof. This will definitely not move anywhere. So now I'm gonna be applying mascara, and needless to say, I'm gonna be applying a waterproof mascara, and the mascara that I'm gonna be using is this one by Heroin Make. It's their long and curl mascara. This is a pretty budge proof, waterproof mascara that I've used ever in my life, so I'm gonna be using that. So I'm gonna be quickly doing that off camera and I'm gonna be right back. Okay, so I'm back with my mascara. Don't think so it made any difference because I have really depressing lashes, but anywho, so last step is to do the lips, and for my lips I'm gonna be using this liquid lipstick by House of Makeup. Yeah, it's in the shade Drama Queen. I know what you guys are thinking, like listen, like, Marge, what are you thinking? You want me to wear this lipstick for an everyday use? No. So hear me out, Linda, hear me out. So what I'm gonna be doing with this lipstick is, so I'm gonna be using this lipstick as a stain on my lips, placing like 2-3 dots on my lips like so, and I'm gonna start blending it out using my finger. And there you go, that is this look complete. I'm just gonna do my hair real quick off camera, and I'm gonna be right back. So one last step is to set this makeup in place. I'm gonna be using the same setting spray by Flower Beauty. Okay, so there you go, guys, that is the finished makeup look. I hope you guys like how this makeup look turned out and learned some tips and tricks from this video. Ideally, I would have used like an eyeshadow pencil on my eyes rather than using this liquid shadow. That's the only thing that I feel like I would have changed to make it a little bit more wearable. But nonetheless, I really love the way how this makeup look turned out. So let me know in the comments down below, what do you guys think of this story time chit chat get ready with me? Do you want me to do more of these? Because I would love to do that for you. If you guys have made it till here, then please make sure to like this video and also subscribe to my channel and click the bell notification to be notified every time I post a video. And also come follow me on Instagram, because that's the place where I'm active the most, and I absolutely love talking to you guys. So yeah, with that, you guys, I'm gonna take a leave, and I'm gonna see you guys in my next video. Bye, Lindas. Mwah.